was some good
It was
harmonizing.
all right, yeah. Harmonies.
Which is what we're reviewing today. We just finished playing Harmonies, and now we're gonna let you know our thoughts and opinions on it. Harmonies is a 1 to 4 player game. It is we looked it up, the official terms for tile drafting and pattern building game.
Yes.
If you play things like Azul or Sagrada, some of these other games have sort of that kind of feel, and Harmonies definitely did that as well. You're building landscapes. You get a little tile board and you're building different things like trees and buildings and fields in order to attract different animals to your landscapes. And both of those things give you points. The different animals that show up can give you points. And based on the orientation of your landscapes, those also give you points at the end of the game.
There you go. Let's take a look at a little gameplay overview right now.
Alrighty, so this is a brief gameplay overview of the game Harmonies, a animal collection and landscape building game for 1 to 4 players. During the game, you're trying to build various objects on your board like trees and rivers and mountains and fields in order to attract animals, and all of these things give you different amounts of points. So on your turn, each character is going to have their own little player board to fill out. And the one mandatory action you have to do is take 3 of these little tiles from the center here and place them on your board. You can choose the orientation of them, where they're gonna go, and things like that. Every player will have a cheat sheet, and this shows you exactly how to construct these various landscapes and how each one of them scores. Other things you can do on your turn, and these are optional, is take an animal from the animal deck, and these also show you what landscapes you need to satisfy in order to score points for each different animal. You can have up to 4 at the top of your board. As you complete them, you'll put them down to the side, and you'll place animal cubes on here to show when you've collected points for those landscapes. Then at the end of your turn, you'll repopulate the little token board here in the middle, and it will go to the next player. You'll continue in this fashion until either one player is down to 2 or less empty spots on their board, or the bag of tokens is empty when you go to refill it. And then at the end of the game, you will tally up all of the scores based on the points. On here, you've got the different landscape points and then all the animal points, and then you have your total. There's a bit of replay value here. On the back, there is a different kind of tile set. The whole deck of animals you probably won't see every game, so there will be different ones each time you play. And there are also spirit animals that you can add in if you like, that give each player kind of an individual objective to aim for. Quick little side note on the animal cards here. They have their own conditions to be met in order to score points, and they show you on here the orientation of exactly how you're going to score them. So in this case, the koala bears want a short tree next to a medium-sized tree, and then that's where you'll place the animal token in order to score those points on your board. Another example here we have is a peacock who likes having 2 pieces of water next to a building on that card. So that will definitely differentiate how you're going to place your landscapes and what animals you're going to attract there. So there you go. That's Harmonies in a nutshell. Yeah.
And we're back.
And we're back with Harmonies. So Eric, what were your first impressions? Like after a turn or two, how were you feeling?
Well, let's go even before playing the game.
Okay.
I had heard about this game. I had seen it in a lot of places.
Okay.
And I almost just bought it one time when it was like first came. I was like, oh wow, I was like, this game is really hot, and it was like selling out a bunch of places, and I was like, should I just get this? And then I was like, no, I'll look into it a little bit more.
Okay.
And then I didn't.
But now you have.
But now I have, yes. But it took a while for me to really want to do it. I always kind of wanted to do it.
Sure.
And I don't really know why that is. How did you feel about it when you...
Mine was kind of similar. I had heard about it, like I had seen it in stores and stuff, and then I played another game with a friend, and we were talking about styles of games we like, and how I like things like Love Letter or things that have like fairly straightforward or simple mechanics,
Yep.
but those decisions have big impact, like on how you're scoring or how you play the game. A simple little decision can drastically alter the outcome. And so my friend who had played Harmonies recommended it. He was like, you would probably like Harmonies because the mechanics are fairly easy to get into,
Yeah.
but a lot of your decisions have far-reaching effect in the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
And so I was like, great, sounds good. I should try it out. And then many months later, here we are playing it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my intro to wanting to try it.
Gotcha.
In the first place.
Yeah. Well, when we first, so I didn't really know anything when we were getting into it. It was
Sure.
kind of like being lauded as one of these, like, this is now one of these kinds of games.
Right.
Like
everyone check it out.
Right. And when even after the first like 2 turns, I was like, this game reminds me of Azul, big time.
For sure.
Century Spice Road.
Sure.
In completing the objectives. Splendor. Even Ticket to Ride a little bit.
Yep.
And like you said, Sagrada, I didn't think of it, but that was a good one. And like even something almost like Seven Wonders, not in the way that it like plays, but just like the impact that it's having on you when you're like playing it.
Sure.
You're like, this is in that Venn diagram of one of these games.
Yeah. That Venn diagram of 8 games.
Yes.
There's that little metal overlined section.
Yes. Yes, where it's like, this is a gamer.
Yeah.
I almost don't want to say classic, but it has a feeling, it has staying power. Like this game is like one of those games that's like, wham, like it's one of these games.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain. You just know it when you're playing it and when you see it.
Yeah.
And this is one of them.
That list of games definitely helps because if you think about playing each one of those, it does have that feel of like, this is easy to figure out and easy for me to play. But you could see going back to it again and again. And family-ish level, but like gamer satisfying. There's some meat to it. There's some strategy to it. There's definitely some replay to it and the variety of things that can kind of come out and what you're doing each time you play.
So even just the first couple of turns we were playing it, and we played it a couple of times, but even those first couple of turns, like I was like, okay, I get this. I was like, this is like opening up. I was like, oh my gosh, the strategy here, and like what objective am I going to get? It's going to change everything. And I was like,
now I have this new animal. What does it want me to do?
Right.
What do I already have out?
Right. And so I was like, the replayability on this, super high, super gigantic, just like those other games.
Yep. I felt kind of the same way. We had to kind of figure out the orientation thing early on of like, you have to be pretty exact with how you're placing things.
We'll come back to that.
And what they require to get points and things. I'm going to start talking about components because that's kind of the first thing you see out of the box. The tiles look great. The board looks great.
Looks great.
The art kind of has its own style of sort of like cubist, straightforward, simple art.
Right.
Which is cool, but it also depicts what it needs to. You know when you see the otter, this is the otter, and it likes trees.
Yeah.
Actually, it kind of reminds me a little of like Samurai Jack or some of those.
Oh yeah,
I
could see that. I could see that.
Of like very graphic design, sort of 2D look to it, but it looks great. And the components work. You can tell they're high quality when you're pulling stuff out of the bag.
Yep.
It feels good. So I'd say it has a pretty high score for me in terms of components.
When you're done with the game, you look at the habitat that you've created, and you're like, I've created that. That's always a good feeling. You're like, oh, the river is next to the field, and oh, there's a farmhouse over there. Like that kind of stuff. It feels good.
Yeah,
it just does. It's like one of the reasons you like playing board games. Like just kind of like those feels.
And I agree. The after the fact is really nice because in the moment you're like, I want 7 points instead of 5 points or whatever like the thing is. But at the end, then you're like, oh, there's a nice little mountain range on that side.
I may have lost, but those bees are happy.
That's right.
You know, those are happy bees.
The animals are happy, and that tree was huge.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as that goes, great. Yeah, you want to talk about pros and cons?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about pros and cons. Casey, start us off with pros.
My probably biggest pro is probably the overall like presentation. Like all the stuff works together. The animals coming out make sense. Them wanting certain landscape configurations make sense. And it's easy to get into for that same reason. Is like, okay, on my turn, you just do your one action. There's a couple optional things you can do, and then you move on. So it's fast moving to get around the table and to get people into.
Yes.
So that's probably my biggest con. My biggest pro. That wasn't a con. My biggest pro is easy to get into. And like you mentioned with families, you can play with this with kids, and it's easy for them to see, here's how you make a tree, here's how you build a building, here's what mountains do. And it's pretty easy to explain outside of the specificity of the orientation.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your biggest pro?
My biggest pro is that there's always points. This is definitely a point salad game.
Yeah,
there's always points, and that is nice because you can't always, when you get the animal objective cards, you tend, especially when you're first playing, you're going to be hyper focused on that because you're like, that's the most
How do I do all of this?
But you also get a lot of points of just maximizing how you put the specific terrain tiles down. And so that's nice too. So even if an objective is hard to get or you can't quite get it, you could still get a bunch of points by maximizing how well you have laid out your habitats.
Yep.
That is really nice.
I like that balance of it too, of like, you're always getting points, but how do I get one better than the other?
Yeah.
And like, you could ignore the animals altogether if you wanted, and just make a landscape that scores a lot of points.
Yeah, and I sort of thought about that too. I was like, man, at one point I was like, should I just ignore these and just go for it? Because you can get a lot of points that way.
Right.
So the balance of that is chef's kiss, fantastic.
Cool.
Yes. Another pro I had is that even though, we kind of already talked about this, but even though it's a pretty abstract in concept, it does have a little bit of thematic.
It does.
Ness to it.
So things make sense.
Surprisingly so.
A lot of the time.
Well, here, we'll just go into that right now. But it does feel like you are kind of making a habitat in kind of a weird way.
Here's where I want a field to be.
And it's when the thematic integration works on whatever animal objective you have, it like really works. Like I remember I had bees, and the bees wanted to be in a tree next to 3 fields. Well, that makes sense because their hive is in a tree, and then they go out in the fields to get pollen. Yeah. Right. And then another one I had was, ducks. Ducks wanted to be in a pond near a farmhouse or a building or whatever. It's like, well, that makes sense because that's where you see ducks. So like that kind of surprised me because I didn't really expect that, and that was very, very, lack of a better word, charming. It was very charming,
and it shows that some good thought went into the design of it. Like, okay,
exactly.
Here's the tiles that are going to be related.
But they weren't all like that. Like I had otters, which were also, they were 2 shrubs, two small
short trees
next to a water. Why? I mean, like I don't know.
Well, see, you're not an otter biologist.
Well, that's true.
They absolutely, no, I don't
know. That's true. And then, like, you had hedgehogs, and they needed a building near 2 trees.
Medium trees.
Okay.
That's a normal hedgehog habitat. Yeah, I don't know.
And then it wouldn't stand out so much if the other ones
didn't make so much sense.
Yeah. So that's not necessarily a con or anything like that, but it's just something that stuck out.
Some make a lot more sense than
so thematic. Some of them was like, all right, okay, I guess that's fine. Yeah.
Right.
Hedgehogs like to be near 2 trees. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Some good pros.
Yeah. You got any other pros?
Not really, because they all kind of tie together.
They do all tie together.
The theme works, the mechanics work.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It's all a big pro. What's your biggest con? Do you have many cons?
Yes, so I had really 2 cons, and some of them are not really, they're potential cons. Okay. The biggest one I have is that the game is accessible and it's not complicated. What you're doing, Grandma and even like little Timmy could get what to do in concept, but in practice, this could cause a lot of analysis paralysis. Yeah. And I think a lot more than what you might think because of all the different kinds of combinations. And especially if you have the option of 4 animal objectives in front of you, Plus,
what am I aiming at?
Yes.
What's on my
plus
board?
how your landscape terrain needs to be laid out.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about then all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And so that could be a problem.
Which is a weird problem to have for when your action is take tiles, 3 tiles, place 3 tiles.
And place 3 tiles.
That's it. But then you're like,
placing 3
how?
tiles, especially when certain tiles stack on top of other ones.
Yeah.
Then you're getting into a whole nother thing. So I didn't really feel that too much, but I was thinking about it when we were playing the game. I was like, oh man, like the look of the game and the feel of it, and then you throw in that thing. Depending on who you are, who you're playing with,
right,
the game could make a bad impression that way, and I would hate to do that because it is very, very good.
Yeah. It has a whole nother layer that, say, like Splendor just doesn't have.
Right.
Splendor's like you collect your tokens, you spend them, you get your gems. That's it.
Even
this has levels and all that.
I mean, did Azul really have much of that? Like, I know it
not
has
really, but it did have more
and
intricate scoring things you were thinking about the whole time, which this also has.
Right. Okay. And then my other con is maybe it's just sort of the nature of how this game is, but in drawing new animals, when you complete objectives, you could either get super lucky and have it where the terrain you've made already is helping you get more points, or you could keep getting shafted a little bit. Yeah, like where it's like, well, I don't have mountains at all right now, and the game's almost over, so this isn't really doing anything. But what also helps, though, too, is that you can only score one objective per turn. So that helps slow that down. If one player has, like, they're like, oh, like, I could complete all of my bees right now, it's like, well, hold up, because you can only do one at a time. So these are little things and more potential problems rather than they are glaring problems.
And some of them might resolve over time too, like the more you play it, because like all the different landscape scoring, if you play this 2, 3, 4 times, you would just know, here's how I score points for a river, here's how the mountains work.
Right.
So that's kind of removed, and it's just the random nature of the animals and how the tiles are coming out that change.
Right.
So it might alleviate that a little bit. But yeah, for an initial play, there is a little bit to it.
Yeah.
Teach little Timmy.
Here's
how you score all your points.
Well, let's say the age is 10 plus on the box. I don't know,
probably
man. For 10, I might go older. I might wait till they're like 13.
Sure.
Just because of all this little extra kind of stuff that we're talking
things.
about. 10-year-old, my kid's almost 10. I don't think he would get like
how to maximize the points.
But you know, all kids are different. So hey, maybe they would. But do you have any other cons?
My biggest con is scoring, and not necessarily at the end, because you're adding up all your stuff. So you get points for all your landscapes, you just add all that up. And then points for all the animals, you just add all that up. So that went much faster than I thought it would and was pretty easy.
Okay.
But scoring during the game, you don't really have a good bead on like what's going on. Like there's no way I could be like, Eric's at 38 points and I'm at 24 points and therefore I need to be more aggressive or that kind of thing. So you don't really know until the very end, like where everyone kind of lies in terms of scoring, which makes it hard to strategize with the other players.
That's true. There's no like track or anything that you're like visually seeing.
Right.
And then it's like, Scott, especially if you're going to play with 4 players,
Yeah.
like I would have.
So you just have to kind of mentally tally here. I think I'm doing well or whatever.
But all of our our scores were pretty darn close to each other.
It was. At the end, it was pretty tight.
Casey was more efficient with his habitat than I was, and so he rightly won for that. So I think it is pretty fair.
I think so too. You just don't know it until it's over.
Right. You just sort of
what's going on.
It's like, oh, well, I can see why I lost. Yeah.
So that's one of my cons. And then my other one is there's not a whole lot of player interaction. This is pretty Euro-y. And like you're doing your thing with your board, I'm doing my thing. With the tiles out there, you know what's available to everybody. So you can kind of be like, oh, well, Eric would really want mountains, so I'm going to take these mountains away. But there isn't a whole lot of like impeding of other players that you can do.
Right.
And maybe that's nice. Maybe everyone's trying to play in harmony with each other and not slow each other down too much. Maybe that's why they did that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it never really felt like we were playing together much. It was more just I'm doing my habitat, you're doing yours, and we'll see what happens at the end.
That's true.
So those are my only real cons with it.
Okay.
which can be kind of big. I don't know if you're a really competitive player. Maybe Harmonize isn't really for you.
Yeah, and
I gotta win.
but the game doesn't really, to its credit, doesn't really convey that.
True.
It's like, this is gonna be a feel-good kind of experience.
Have fun
like,
making
you
the
know.
others happy.
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
build my mountains,
Right.
and we'll see what happens.
And if you win, great. And if you lose, that's okay too.
Right.
Because we're all
in harmony with
in
nature.
harmony.
Ah.
So,
Overall impressions? Recommend?
impression. I really like the game. I like it more than Azul.
Yeah.
I like it more than Century Spice Road. It's I like it way more than Splendor. But I think it's really good. Am I going to get it? Probably not. These kinds of games, for some reason, I don't ever really want to own them, and I don't really know why that is. But I'd like to play them. I like to play them with people.
Yeah,
and this,
try it out.
Yes, and I'll play this anytime anybody wants to play.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah.
I guess it feels similar to like Splendor in that regard to me too. Like
Yeah.
I've played Splendor a lot with a lot of different people. I don't own it.
And I
It
don't
just shows up.
feel like I want to. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah. I think this game obviously is really, really good. I think the only warning I would give, which if you're watching this thinking about buying it, is my gut feeling is that this is probably just potentially a notch above a true family weight game, just because of the
little more complexity.
Yes, and just the onslaught of options and min-maxing scoring opportunities that you could have could turn some people off, because later people may go, well, I didn't realize I could do that, or oh, what does that mean? Or you can stack this 3 and that's only 2. Well, why that? Those little things may keep it from being truly family weight accessible. But for gamers, and you want to play a light game, and you got some friends that are totally open to this kind of stuff, perfect. But family, my gut feeling says it's a little too much.
I'm kind of on that same level. I'd say if you love Azul, if you love Splendor, and you want something with some more stuff going on, absolutely get Harmonies. You'll probably love it. If not, probably not for you. Like if you hate Azul, probably stay away.
Yeah, if you don't like any of those games, this is not going to change your mind. Yeah.
But overall, I like it. I would recommend it if
Me
you're
too.
into that style of game. If you like point salad-y things where you're just getting stuff all the time.
Big recommend.
This has that.
Big recommend. Like I said at the beginning, I wasn't really looking to play it hard, like I gotta get this played, but now that I did, I am glad that I have played it.
For sure.
So, smash up the like, guys, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one. That is Harmonies. Go out there and, run in a field and make sure their mountains...
Satisfy some bees.
Yes, satisfy bees. And